welcome to Goal Line Gossip. This is the Fallout show where we talk about the Premier League games which are upcoming on this weekend. We have some mouth-watering games this weekend. One of the games that is going to happen is Arsenal taking on Leeds. Well, not really mouth-watering, but from a title point of view, a definite must-win since I think Haaland has achieved his robotic senses again and scoring hat tricks every game. So must win for Arsenal. So I'll just go to Jishmeister and ask him right away. So let's start with what happened in the Europa League. Now, I don't want to banter you because at the end of the day, it was not the biggest or the most important tournament of the campaign. But then, as an Arsenal fan, what were your thoughts on the defeat? Were you looking for progressing to the next stage, or is it something like, it's just fine and you just move on? Because I've heard a lot of Arsenal fans saying it's fine. I mean, it's actually a blessing in disguise. Even like in AFTV, Don Robbie said something like that, where it's probably like the silver lining that, it's good that you can focus on the Premier League completely and, win it, hopefully.
Listen, doesn't matter what Robbie Lyle says or anybody else out there says. I think it's weak mentality to accept defeat in any tournament. Doesn't matter whether it's Carabao Cup or Europa League. It showed a lot of weaknesses to me. It showed me that Mikel Arteta is not yet ready. He doesn't have his blueprint ready for Europe. Playing in Europe is different. The playing style in a one-off game is different. It's in a two-legged tie. In a European game, it's not the same as Premier League. It's not. The playing style has to be different. The way you approach the game has to be different. You cannot take Sporting Lisbon and think that they're the same as, let's say, a Coventry City, a Hull City, or one of the championship clubs in the Premier League. They're not. They're better. Sporting Lisbon is one of the top 2 or top 3 clubs in Portugal, and then Portugal produces world-class players year in, year out. Arteta fielding a mixed team where he played 4 or 5 of our second-string players shows the disrespect that he had for this competition. Or maybe he was aware that maybe we do not have the strength of players, or the numbers required, or the bench strength required to focus on 2 competitions. Maybe he did it intentionally, but even if it is, I cannot accept it as a fan. As a fan, listen, I may not be going to the games in the stadium, but I still pay premium bucks to watch, them on Fubo subscription, right? And I have every right to question why Arsenal would not take a tournament seriously. And I will term the season, I've already spoken to a few of my friends, if we do not win the Premier League this year, this season would be a failure for me. It would be a massive failure more so because we were equipped. Our players were, fired up to perform well in most games. We had an overperforming team this season. And if we end up with this kind of performances trophy-less, that's banter-worthy. Trust me, it's banter-worthy. And if you have nothing to show for it, if we do not win the Premier League from this point on, I think, questions should be asked of the club and its ambition.
Arteta out?
Listen, I wouldn't say Arteta out yet because he has proven that he can get the best out of players and get players to, overachieve from what their abilities or maturity levels are at. But in the sense that the club has to be, ashamed as a whole, as a unit. And us as fans, we should have no chest if we don't win the Premier League at this point in time. We win the Premier League, listen, all critics answer. But if we don't, discounting the Europa League, discounting the FA Cup, discounting the Carabao Cup is criminal. Absolute criminal. Does not matter what AFTV says, what any other footballing channel says out there in the United Kingdom. It is unacceptable as a footballing fan from my end, from an Arsenal standpoint.
Okay, I respect that because I think although I do believe that you guys are doing pretty well in the Premier League, like comfortably up till now. But yeah, I mean, you've put all the eggs in one basket, and you have to finish the crossing line. Cross the finishing line.
Cross the finishing line. Yes.
Anyways, cross the finishing line and win the league. Yeah. Otherwise, well, you'll still be the banter club, but it's okay. It's okay.
Deservedly. We should take the mantle off of Tottenham Hotspurs. Listen, we will talk about Tottenham later on in our next show probably, but
right.
they're the perennial banter club.
Mm-hmm.
But if we draw the Premier League, yeah, I will be bantering my own club. Trust me, I will.
Right.
Now, but let's talk about something good about our club.
No, hang on. We'll go to there.
Okay.
I have a question for iTunes Mag. So, before the Europa, game against the Portuguese side, Sporting, Erik Ten Hag had a press conference where he said that Arsenal, they don't have any players injured, and what happened was they obviously lost the match, but some of the players got injured as well. Do you think there's some sort of like a jinx or some kind of voodoo happening over there, iTunes Mag?
Yes, at the midst of, and it's good to see Arsenal is losing points so that City can win. And I have already pointed out that City will be win the Premier League. So on the way, I see it is some players from Arsenal getting injured. And
right.
we have a match against Arsenal in a few weeks maybe, and 7th May.
Yeah.
7th May it was. So
yeah.
I think it's a good chance. If they still continue to miss their players, we have a really good chance because the way they are playing right now, it's really amazing to see. And but I believe, the jokes apart, I think they will win the match against Leeds this time. But Leeds been grabbed 7 points out from the last 4 matches. They have won the last match is 4-2 probably against Brentford. I don't remember but they have played really good football. I watched the match. I believe it's a difficult, little difficult for Arsenal to beat them, but this still they can do it. But I would love to see Leeds upset the Arsenal.
Right. And
listen, Saliba has an injury. He has I believe it's a thigh injury that he has. There's a decent chance that he'll play, but hopefully he'll be back for the Anfield game next weekend. But there's a chance that he's going to be missing this weekend.
But then Tomiyasu is done for the season as well, right?
Yeah, he's out for the season. Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But
and iTunes Mag, you said that you'll be fine with the idea that City can win the league and not Arsenal, right? I mean, that's your prediction, but is that what you want?
That was my prediction.
Right.
That was my prediction. I believe City should clinch the Premier League this time. And I think Tomiyasu is done for the season. Tierney probably going to play.
Well, no. Tierney, we're going to have Zinchenko playing.
Obviously.
We have a game a week right now. Zinchenko and Ben White is our first preferred choices anyway.
It's a good for us because Tierney will be coming to Newcastle next season. And as long as that's one more point, is probably
Oil me up.
That's
oil money.
As a stadium. I don't know. I mean, that's the rumor I'm getting.
I think United fans will be super happy to see the back of Scott McTominay. I'm very confident when I say this. But I want to ask you, iTunes Mag, we have an 8-point lead, albeit that they have a game in hand. I get it. But you think in the next 10 games, they're not going to drop any points? In order for them to win the league from this point on, we need to lose 3 games, which is possible. Let me put it out there.
So one of them is against City, so that's there.
Listen, but all season, we have lost only 3 games. Only 3 games. That's all we have lost.
Right.
All season. We've drawn another 3, but I mean, you can see the numbers. Like we're at 29 games odd, like almost, more than 2/3 of the season gone. And we are expected to suddenly lose the same number of games as we lost in the first 2/3. That's my number for the first question for iTunes Mag. And second of all, you expect suddenly for City to have such an upswing of form that they're going to win all of the rest of the 11 games? Is that what you're telling me? Or are you saying that they're probably going to lose 1 or 2 games and we're going to lose 5? Is that what you're telling me?
It can be either way. I am not going to predict that much because
He basically doesn't. He does not want Arsenal to win. That's his stance. He's made it pretty clear.
Why? Why do you?
No, it's not about caring. It's not that I prefer Arsenal over City or I prefer City over Arsenal. It's just my thought. The way Haaland is playing, the way the team is playing, I think City should win this match. I mean, with the Premier League. Arsenal be playing phenomenally well this season, and the only way I see them losing at the end game because the key players are missing, and I believe that Saliba is missing.
Saliba is going to be out just for one game against Leeds at Emirates.
I don't see Arsenal. Rate Gabriel Jesus a big player. I don't know why. For me, it's just a normal like a Callum Wilson.
Hey, he likes Callum Wilson. He rates Callum Wilson really highly. So you're just saying like he's like the best striker ever.
I don't see why Arsenal is rate Jesus so much, and it's just some.
I want you to go and look at the transfer market website and see the valuation of Gabriel Jesus.
Valuation is different thing. See, if you put Mitrovic has a good valuation. But,
not even close. I'm sure he's not even close to Gabriel Jesus. I'm going to check just because you mentioned thing to check.
Yeah.
But I think I think one of the reasons why he's pointing it out is because Jesus has also been like injured for 20% of the season, and that takes an impact on your team when you're the.
More than 20%.
It's more than 20, right? Exactly.
Without Jesus, we have been bombarding goals. As I listen, our topic today is: do I even want Jesus or Trossard up front? I'm telling you right now, in the form that he is in and the way he's connecting with Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka, I want Trossard to be playing up front.
Exactly my point. I don't see.
We have backups, but you have Liam Trossard.
No, but he's saying Gabriel Jesus is crap. There's a difference.
So, I mean, everyone, I'm not saying crap.
Okay, Callum Wilson level. Whatever that means.
He's just a mediocre number 9, I would say. He's not phenomenal. He's not like something out of the ordinary. He's just a mediocre. I mean,
Jesus is valued at 75 million euros. Okay. And I'll show you.
Dude, 75? Dude, Scott McTominay is 50. Just so you know.
Mitrovic is twice at 28 million euros.
Yeah, with
this like very times valuation.
Come on, he plays for City, Arsenal. Mitrovic, with the support he gets from Fulham, he scores goal in and out. Imagine what he would get if he plays for a club like Arsenal or Man U or something like that.
Don't say Manchester United, man.
I'm telling you, if Weghorst can play for Man U, Mitrovic can play for PSG.
Oh, yeah, of course. Mitrovic is a better player than Weghorst, even though Weghorst has been, tirelessly working hard and at the number 10 position.
I'm not questioning his work rate. He's taken as a striker, right? Mm-hmm. His conversion rate compared to Mitrovic is
very low. Yeah, of course. But anyway, listen, this joke about Gabriel Jesus, hopefully we'll be able to answer.
It's just a video. I mean, every Arsenal fans being saying Jesus is back or we are safe. Just see, this Jesus is not the Jesus, the original one.
What is the original Jesus?
So he's
like the beginning of Christ. Oh, okay.
The Jesus Christ.
No, it's not a Jesus Christ. He came back. See, he's just a video game player. So, couple of games, Trossard will be back again. If
Trossard is back.
See, if Trossard is not starting, it's a crime. Jesus could be comfort 10 minutes for any match, just to fill in the gaps. Gabriel Jesus is the filler in the club.
Oh my God. He's saying that he's
Arsenal next season Arsenal should get a proper number 9.
That's true though.
Proper number 9.
Not Jesus. Jesus is not going to cut it.
Harry Kane maybe?
Harry Kane going to Arsenal.
So where is Gabriel Jesus going to play? If let's say we bring in Victor Osimhen. Let's just put that name out.
Yeah, he's going to be. So he's going to be the number 2. He's going to be the number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gabriel Jesus will never play number 2. He's too good to play number 2.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying it's not a great transfer from a long-term point of view. Yes, he's a really good player. He's been able to like transform Arsenal in the beginning of the season. Now he's been out injured, and it's great that they got Trossard. But at the end of the day, when again, like if you guys win the league, congratulations. Even if you don't win the league, you're gonna be what, like second or third? And the expectation next season would be to at least challenge.
We're not going to be third.
Okay,
not
second. Doesn't matter. My point is, next season you will be expected to challenge the league again, right? Regardless of whether you're second or you win the league. You cannot consistently keep on challenging the Premier League with Gabriel Jesus as your main man. You can't. You cannot.
We can buy a second striker. I'm telling you that we are probably going to go and buy a second striker. But Gabi Jesus will be our number 1.
But he's not reliable. He's injured most of the time.
No, that was just this season when he's never been. He's not injury prone. He's not.
He's growing older, and we've seen that in City as well. Been injury prone.
I don't know. Aguero was injury prone, not him.
No, Jish was saying that he cost around 75 lakh. I would cash him in. I would cash him in. I would let him go to any other club. I mean, in Brentford or in
Spurs,
who's coming from Championship or probably West Brom. I would let him go. I'm saying,
if we sell Gabriel Jesus, we would get a minimum of 120 to 140 million pounds, right?
What?
I'm telling you, right?
Invest that in that.
You won't get over 50. You will not get over 50.
100%. If Mudryk is valued at 100 million, he would easily at the age of 25, 26, the peak of his powers.
No, but Mudryk, the whole value proposition of Mudryk was this wonder kid from a foreign land. Gabriel Jesus came from City. He was a City, I mean, let's face it. Yeah. And he wasn't, he was just somebody who was on the bench.
Ivan Toney would go for? What do you think Ivan Toney would go for in this market right now? Minimum 70 to 80 million?
You're not getting my point. The transfer that you're talking about, that has already happened. And that has happened in the form of City selling Gabriel Jesus to Arsenal. That has already happened.
With just 6 months or a year left on the contract. There's a difference. You get when Alexis Sanchez went to United.
But you do understand that, within 6 months, until unless something drastic happened, he will never be sold. So that's never going to happen, right?
Of course, he's too good to be sold.
It's not just being too good. No, but have you seen any situations where a big player comes to a big team, stays for 6 months, and then goes away? It doesn't happen.
No, of course not.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to say.
But you said
within a next
player coming to a big club. So Gabriel Jesus equals big player. Arsenal equals big club. So big player at a big club is not going to leave after 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, big player compared to Mitrovic, 100%. Big player compared to, I don't know, maybe Isak, maybe so far, maybe Callum Wilson.
Oh, exactly. There you go. This guy's better than Isak. At this point.
That's just because he's played for City and Arsenal. Don't get me wrong. If Isak
but look,
keeps on playing,
Max face.
No, I mean, I'm sure. So Aiton Mac, if you get a good price on Gabriel Jesus, would you take him? Yes or no?
I will not take it. I will not take it.
Why do you hate him, man?
No, see, Gabriel Jesus, I'm telling you, he's a mediocre player. He should play for Southampton, not for Arsenal or Man City. He should go for play for Southampton. He should go play for, West Ham, something. Not for I don't see. See.
And he's better than Callum Wilson.
If in Jesus, when Callum Wilson came to a club which was a relegation bet.
Right.
So we took Isak. In a big club, when we are aiming for a big club, we took Isak. We didn't took Callum.
And Isak scored how many goals for Real Sociedad in the last season? Can you tell me? How many goals did he score?
I have to check the stats. I don't.
Four.
Check the stats.
4 goals all season.
And see his age.
Callum Wilson has been regularly banging in goals whenever he plays. Isak is not even better than Callum Wilson, let alone Gabriel.
Okay.
Anyway, listen, we're digressing here completely. I think we're at the end of our show anyway right now. In terms of score predictions, what is your score prediction for Arsenal versus Leeds? Saul?
Comfortable win. I think like a 1-0 or a 2-0. Pretty similar to the Leicester match. I don't see. Although, it's Leeds, they might score. Maybe I'll go with 3-1 just to be on the safe side.
Okay. What are you saying, iTunes man?
I will go with 3-2 for Arsenal.
Close match.
I'll say it's going to be 6-1 to Arsenal.
Okay, that was a bit off.
I'll say that.
Well, listen, the way we are scoring goals every game, four each in the past 2 games or 3 games, I'm not sure. And Leeds, the way they play. Listen, they still have a little bit of Bielsa in them. Bielsa blood, and they're going to leave a lot of space behind. Martinelli, Saka, star boy Saka. Did you see what he did in the game for England? That assist and goal within 3 minutes. He just earned his weight for the week.
That is my point for Gabriel Jesus. The way the wingers of Arsenal is playing, if they somehow started choking, I don't see Gabriel Jesus scoring.
We played a different system. Firmino was a world-class player at Liverpool. He didn't score more than Salah or Mane. Jesus' work is not to score goals. His game is to create space for the 2 wingers in our team. That's the way we play.
He's not physical enough to run the ball like Callum Wilson.
He is
Okay,
guile.
I think I have the perfect question to resolve this. Jishnu or Jishmeister, who do you think is better, Callum Wilson or Gabriel Jesus?
As a goal scorer, Callum Wilson. As an overall player, or somebody that I would.
There you go.
Gabriel Jesus one.
Make whatever you have to make out of that, but that was just a bizarre answer.
Okay, listen, we're going to wrap up the show here right now. Okay. Amazing chatting up with you guys after a while. Thank you, Saul, for your time. Thank you, iTunes Mag.